Welcome, y'all.
Hey, Colin.
Hey, how you doing?
That was very tame.
I know. I was trying to do the camera at the same time, and I goofed it up.
Oh, he's multitasking, y'all. He's multitasking. All right, we have Kyrstin here, who is going to tell us a story.
Yes.
Because I have been super swamped with year end.
And I had nothing this week but snow.
But snow, yes, y'all.
Snow only.
We had a blizzard on the bayou this week in Louisiana, and it was
beautiful.
It was beautiful. I was not, however, allowed to go down the stairs because it was icy and slick.
Well, Tammy does fall up the stairs when it's dry. So.
I do. But
you didn't even touch it?
I mean, I had plenty of snow on the back porch. But
it was so nice.
So Harold, the day it started snowing, Harold left at 2:30 that morning to go to the plant.
Oh shit!
Before it started snowing, and he was there.
Was he? He was stuck.
He spent the night. No, he packed a diaper bag for himself and everything. It was fine. I just was told before.
Bitch, don't go down the stairs.
He was like, you need to assume that if you walk outside, you're going to fall.
You're going to break your hip.
Yes, and I mean, like. Nobody was around. Nobody could get to me.
Snuck.
So, no.
I would have came and saved you.
No, I couldn't. Like, seriously, if I fell, I would have died of exposure. Like,
you would have better chances falling down the inside stairs.
I've done that.
I've done that.
I've done it. All right, what y'all drinking?
Neutral.
Neutral. Hey, girl.
Ice cold Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. Thanks for showing the grits koozies there, y'all.
Scan that if you can see it in the camera. Okay,
representing.
Grits.
I
know I needed more of these because every time somebody's like, what is that? And they'll like try and scan it. I'm like, here, take a koozie.
Yes. Thank
Since
you.
you decided you wanted to scan it, take a koozie.
Absolutely. I need to do a couple things. Shannon T, shout out.
Shout out.
New Patreon member, level 2.
Ooh.
We appreciate you, Shannon T. Also, we've had a lot of comments on YouTube.
Good.
The last few days, and I'm loving that, y'all. Please go get your friends to, because I know y'all have already all subscribed. So please go get your friends and your mom and them to go subscribe.
All the mom and thems.
Yep. And anything else? Miss anything? All right, we ready to rock and roll?
Yes.
I got some funnies after the fact. So
perfect.
And my medicine alarm is not going to go off.
Good, thank goodness.
We'll see.
I'm going to move this a little bit.
Well, I turned it off, but you know, sometimes I'm technology challenged.
I'll turn mine off and it still fucking goes off. Okay. So now that you told me that, now I feel nervous. Like a nervous jerk.
I just told her, just slow down.
Because sometimes when I talk, I'm like.
What did she tell you to make you nervous?
To slow down.
And then I'm going to be like, all right, bitch, slow down the whole fucking time.
Gotcha.
Hey, no, I'm not
mad with it.
No, I don't want you to be mad, but if it were me, I would want someone to tell me.
I absolutely want you to tell me.
Because I have people email me 100%. Some shit. You know what I'm saying? Mostly it's about we love Stomp, but not, you know, I mean.
Tell the crazy bitch to slow the fuck down.
No, they did not say that.
No, I absolutely would rather you tell me because I can control that.
All right.
So, yeah.
You're going to get some messages about the camera work of this guy.
They're going to be this fucking asshole.
I could promise you that one. I'm getting my 2 and my 3 mixed up.
So you're basically shooting off into the other room with the camera. You're not even fucking in this room with us.
It'd be on the back door all day.
It's the toilet cam.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right. Love you guys. Glad you're here.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Okay. So my story is it's about a person, and we're going to kind of go through the crimes place by place.
Crimes plural.
Multiple.
Okay.
Same person?
Same person, multiple crimes. So I'm going to just kind of give you a background. So the story is about Charles Edmund Cullen. Charles was born February 22nd, 1960 in West Orange, New Jersey. He was raised with a working class family, youngest of 8. So he's the baby.
So they're obviously Catholic.
Yes, very. His father died. He was a bus driver, but he died September 17th, 1960. So he was 7 months old. So he didn't really get a chance to.
He didn't know his dad. Yeah.
He didn't really get a chance to meet his dad. His mom, Florence Cullen, she was born in England and immigrated to the U.S. after World War II. She was a war bride.
Okay.
So then she was killed.
Oh my gosh.
I know. She was killed in a car accident December 6, 1977. Charles was 17 years old.
Yeah, so he knew her. Yeah,
Yes,
there you go, Colin.
Yeah, he had tons
Of time with his mom.
correct. So the following year, Charles enlisted in the Navy. He successfully passed basic training and the
Psychological.
examination.
They haven't found out he's a serial killer
Correct.
yet.
So he passed all of his tests and everything, but he didn't fit in where he was. During his time at the Navy, he was hazed and bullied, which if you're an easy target, that's usually how that happens.
Well, also back then, there was no...
there
wasn't the zero bullying tolerance thing.
Right.
It was
You took your
suck or be
licks.
sucked.
Yes, exactly. You took your licks.
So he was hazed and bullied during his time at the Navy. A year into his service, his leading petty officer, which I only know Marine Corps terms, I don't have a clue about any of the others. So I guess that's his higher up.
Yeah, of course. It's at the very least, it's a supervisor.
Right. So he stumbled upon Charles, and Charles was seated in the missile control wearing a surgical mask, gloves, and scrubs rather than his uniform.
I thought you were going to say you found him
Some
jerking
gay shit,
off.
yeah.
In the corner.
Right.
Watching
Sorry, sir.
Watching the other seamen.
Watching the other seamen. That's right.
So he got his ass ring for that.
Nice.
They
Wait,
They're like-
literally or
probably both, if I was going to guess.
Yeah.
Come here, little sweetie boy.
Yeah. A surgical mask and gloves. And he's not a medic.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't know where.
Do we know what he did in the military? Okay. No, but we know he's not a medic.
Right.
he's
And
just kinky.
So, after he dealt with the bullying and the hazing, he resigned. No, I'm sorry.
I was like, you just
No.
just resign from
He was
the Navy.
discharged.
Discharged.
He was reassigned is the word that I was
Okay.
trying to read.
Okay.
The Navy reassigned
Lay off
Charles.
the beers.
Yeah. He to like a more calm, chill environment. He attempted suicide.
Wow.
He was committed to the psychiatric facility through the Navy several times.
Wow.
Before he received a medical discharge from the Navy in 1984. So he had only been in the Navy for
Well, his mom died
a few
in
years.
77.
yes.
And that's when he went into the Navy after that.
Yeah, the following year.
So he was in there a while. I'm surprised he made
Yeah,
it.
84.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he
Wow.
made it past his first 4 years.
Well, I'm shocked that he made it past the psychological evaluation.
You know, we've done some stories where it seems like, I want to call it the olden days because this is
Right.
the olden
This
days.
is.
Right.
I really feel like, you know,
It wasn't what it was.
it wasn't what it is today.
Right.
It definitely, you know, I feel like you could screw up a few little questions on the questionnaire.
Right,
You're
Yeah.
still like,
right,
guy,
right.
you know, we need guys. We need guys. In
Yeah,
the
hurry
military.
up, just
Yeah.
pass them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the science and the research wasn't there for
Mm-mm.
Oh,
these
no.
type of people. So
Especially in men.
Oh, yeah.
So he attempted suicide. That wasn't his first time. When he was 9 years old, he attempted suicide with a chemistry set.
How do you even fucking know what that is at 9 years old?
Couldn't tell you.
All right.
He drank a bunch of chemicals to try and kill himself.
Bro.
Yeah.
sounds like a quitter to me. Sorry.
This is true. So after he was discharged, and they gave him a medical discharge for other reasons.
Mm-hmm. They never want to call you crazy.
No,
Right.
it was for other reasons.
Because that would be like, we made a mistake.
Yeah,
We let
right,
you
we
in.
fucked up.
Yeah.
We let you stay for that long.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, he was discharged and he enrolled in Mountainside Hospital's nursing school.
Well, he do like to wear surgical
He
masks and
does.
gloves.
So I guess he felt like that was his
Mhm.
that was his calling.
Kink to calling.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here, Colin.
Okay. Everybody liked him. He was elected nurse class president, which I didn't know they
That's
did that
a
shit,
thing.
but
Wow.
cool.
Good for you, bro.
He graduated in 87. and he went to the burn unit
I'm just thinking about
from call to king.
no nurse class, but like nurse class president.
Yeah. I guess that
low key flex.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm the president, bitches.
Did I use it right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was close. Flex. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So he went from there to the burn unit.
correct. So he went to the burn unit, and that was in Livingston, New Jersey.
Oh, I thought you were going to
okay.
say, we both
Y'all
held
were
our
holding
breath.
y'all's breath for that one.
Livingston, Louisiana.
Livingston, New
That
Jersey.
explains a lot.
He's on meth and he's a kinky nurse.
Okay, so during that time, he met and married his wife, Adrienne.
Okay.
I don't know how to say
It's
it.
okay. You say it whatever,
Yeah,
however
so
you're comfortable saying it.
Adrienne in 1987. He had a daughter that same year or later that year. He had 2 daughters in all. That's all the kids that he had.
Okay.
Charles's wife was worried about the safety of her kids and her. So she filed a restraining order against Charles.
him?
Yep.
Like, okay.
Because he was abusive.
Okay. I was like, you just going to jump right into that
he
restraining order?
he was abusive.
All right.
So she filed for that in 1993. So
Sometimes I come home and he's just sitting there wearing a mask
Right,
and gloves
waiting.
and nothing else.
propped up.
He's like, hey,
You
baby.
ready, baby?
Hey, baby.
Jerking in the corner.
It's good to have a
Okay,
dude
but
on.
jerking with surgical gloves on?
Well, I mean,
More friction. Continue.
speaking from experience.
I love the
Sorry,
friction.
we keep derailing you. Sorry.
Okay.
I do.
So she filed that in 1993. Somerset Medical Center is basically where this whole timeline is going to take place.
Okay.
Although he worked at 11 hospitals and 1 nursing home in his all of his time being a nurse.
Okay.
So, and it wasn't consistent. I mean, it was back to back, but it was like short.
I'm not trying to spoil
Amount
it
of
for
time.
everybody, but I think I know where we're going.
Do
with
you?
This. I feel like I do. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. So, Charles, he liked to work the night shift and
Because he could get away with shit on
no
the
shit
night shift.
on that night shift. He seemed to find a place with 2 of the RNs that they refer to as him, her, and her, but they refer to him as 3 musketeers.
Okay.
So I would imagine that they worked together a lot and got really close.
Mm-hmm.
Because often when you work with people, you
spend more time with the people you
Than
work
your
with than
family.
your own,
Right.
you know.
And a lot of nurses be banging the other nurses and the cops and whatnot.
Oh, really?
And I'm always
Real life
worried
Grey's
about
Anatomy.
my fiance.
He about to marry a RN.
Oh shit!
Here we go down this trail with Charles.
Yeah, damn it, Charles.
I'm gonna need that restraining order here shortly.
Okay, so he was well liked so much. He was like a face on one of their flyers as like our hospital's
Oh yeah.
RN. So I guess his presidency paid off.
Yes. He knew how to work the crowd.
Yes.
Right.
So, at that time, they had a few weird deaths, but nothing that it's like, oh God, somebody killed him. So it's labeled as natural deaths.
Yeah.
Or
They were old.
Mhm.
well,
Or
so
if he's in the burn unit, they're severely burned. They would have died of infection or something like
Yes.
that.
Right.
so at this time, he's not in the burn unit. He
Okay.
just started at the burn unit when he moved to Somerset Medical. He's in the ICU now.
Oh, that's even.
Correct.
Oh,
Easier
So-
to get away with. it.
Right.
thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying not to spoil it.
I know.
Do you know the story?
I do not know the
Okay.
story,
No.
but I've read Angel of Death
It's
stories.
dicey.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So Charles worked in the ICU, and at this point, most of his patients were like, maybe they'll wake up, maybe they won't. Like
Mhm.
they're in a coma or intubated or whatever.
Unless he's the nurse, they're definitely not waking up. Maybe. We don't know. We haven't got there yet.
Don't be a judgy McJudgerson.
Maybe.
Yeah, this might be a nice
Yeah,
guy.
Charles might be the good guy.
Yeah. It's his bitch ass ex-wife with the restraining order.
She's restraining everybody. Okay, so most of the situations. So for one of the stories, Reverend Gall, he was one of Charles's patients and he was doing well. However, he was still intubated. So he was like on the road to recovery.
He was about to get that tube out.
Yeah, he was close because he was moved to the CCU.
Oh.
So
instead of intensive, it's critical?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds worse.
So-
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that not worse?
Well, anyway, he was moved because he was getting better, not because he was getting worse.
Correct. But his sister stayed by his side the whole time. Like, I don't think Catholic fathers can have wives.
No, they cannot.
Okay.
And they don't have children.
Okay.
Oh, the
So he was a
priest,
Catholic priest?
Yes, he was a priest.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a family member
Or
then.
do you say father?
Father.
Yeah, you can say father.
It's not reverend.
No, it's not reverend. It's father.
Okay.
Reverend is more like the Baptist thing.
Yeah.
Which,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So Father Gale, he's one of the patients. He was doing well. They moved him to the CCU, but then he started to decline rapidly, like within
An hour.
sometimes
Literally 15 minutes
Correct.
after he got there.
Yes.
And Charles became his nurse.
Yes.
Coincidentally.
Correct.
Because we don't know that Charles really did anything
Correct.
wrong.
right.
Okay.
So one of the nurses felt like this was weird, like something doesn't seem right. So what I didn't know is that nurses call poison control.
What do you mean? If they think someone in the hospital is poisoned?
Like a toxicology or toxicologist,
Yeah.
that's their poison control.
Oh.
So if they feel like,
You'd think it'd be in-house.
me too.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So at least at the time when this
That's true.
happened.
was
That's true.
done,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
may be different now. So
So many people getting killed in the hospital. They may have a toxicologist on staff.
on
now.
standby. Yeah,
Mm.
it could be.
Yeah, third party.
Be more efficient for sure.
Third
Mhm.
party, get somebody in there. I don't know.
Contract labor.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So one of the nurses felt like it was really weird, called poison control or toxicologist. And she was calling about a medication in this man's system called digoxin.
Okay. Have not heard of this.
Digoxin.
You start playing like a lot of football, you're the jock.
Digoxin.
That Jackson boy. So
You start getting on the roids.
right. Start dating cheerleaders. Sir, you're 50.
And a priest.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part.
yeah, he can't be dating no cheerleaders. So the toxicity happens when you have too much digoxin in your body and it becomes harmful. The medication is used to treat heart failure or like arrhythmias.
Hmm.
And I asked Bryce about the medication too. I was like, do you know about it?
Did he know it?
I
Of
don't know.
course
He has
did.
like a little Rolodex in his brain from paramedic school that he just, did you think it was this? Oh, what about that? Like, it's
So when
literally
he's
like
listening
embedded.
to the podcast, do you think that he's
He's Judgy McJudgerson. Like, that ain't what
No.
that's supposed to do.
no,
that ain't the right
no, That's
medication.
not what I was going to say. Thank you for putting that negative thought in my head. No. Is he like,
He's very smart.
I know what they're going to use. Here we go.
Yes. Yes. He
Be
be like, babe, that ain't the right thing to say here. So it's actually this.
So they find this in his system.
Yes.
He's a priest.
He's a priest.
He's not having heart arrhythmias.
A rhythm in there.
Because I'm having my surgery.
I love to be on your level.
um,
I got to stay slightly on the sober
I know,
train.
because I'm not doing this.
I know.
I'm just fucking
I'll be
riding.
like, I'm too drunk. And you just take the rest of it.
I am riding the train.
You're the me today.
I am not the engineer.
Yeah. Okay. So he's had this drug given to him before. So it's not abnormal for him to have this in his system,
Okay.
except for the fact that his last dose was 2 days ago.
Oh,
And he should not have this
you
in his
probably
system.
metabolize it within well before 2 days.
None of that should be in his system still.
Mm.
So basically, the toxicologist was like, this does not make any sense. They told the nurse over the phone that this is something that they need to get authorities involved, like immediately,
Call
because
the
this
popo.
ain't it.
Call the popo.
Right. So the toxicologist called back to follow up on this incident because he felt confident that this was a big issue.
Okay, remind me again. This is in the 90s right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, 2003.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
then.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. So
We almost had cell phones. No, I'm joking. Fuck.
Ugh. Okay, so the toxicologist called just to follow up and be like, hey, what the hell did y'all do?
Good toxicologist.
Awesome. The medical center says they called the local authorities. They gave their input on the matter. They don't have
They're
to
not-
answer to them, basically.
Yeah. And the hospital president's like, nothing to see
Yep.
here. Move along.
Yep, nothing happened.
Yep.
We're not worried about any of that.
Yeah.
Now,
So poor father
yes.
passed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he passed. He passed, and that's how they found all the traces of
Okay.
that in his system.
Gotcha.
So what they did, what?
Please tell me you had the camera on you when you did that.
I did.
Especially to
Father.
a father.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you,
might
Father.
want to kiss the cross and
Yeah.
then do that.
The old dap dap. Okay, so what they ended up reporting to the authorities, the hospital, is they've had 4 cases that they wanted the police to investigate. Now, this is all based on what the hospital decides they're going to share.
I just feel like it should be the hospital's responsibility to prove and then go to the police and say, this is what we know.
Yes.
Right.
I
If
don't think they should-
responsibility was responsible.
Oh, you're right. They're self-policing. So, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
And
Okay.
what looks worse?
Right.
Oh, hey, we mistreated patients, or
Hey, we didn't know we
So
hired
sorry
a
for your loss.
psychopath.
Yeah. So-
Allegedly.
right, allegedly
true,
a psychopath.
True.
So, 2 of the cases were hypoglycemia, which I have hypoglycemia.
Yeah. That's a real deal.
It's
Yeah.
low blood sugar.
But
like-
if you
and it stays low.
if you fucking over inject insulin,
Yes.
you're gonna have a low.
You will die.
Yes.
So, the other 2 were high levels of digoxin. Digoxin is a hard word to say, but it's throughout the whole. It's
I
just
think
a
you're
weird
doing
thing.
beautiful.
It's weird to say. So, all of those were listed as like abnormal findings. After the investigation, day 1, they didn't find anything to be suspicious,
Mm-hmm.
but they did name Charles as a person of interest in this case.
Is that the police that you're saying named
Yes.
him? Okay.
So they didn't really have a whole lot of information from the hospital medical center, which I can only assume that they didn't want to have shit to do with the
Yeah.
public knowing,
Right.
Right.
hey, we have a fucking crazy person.
Damage control.
Yes. Which that's what you do. So as the police started to investigate Charles, they find that he has another case in Pennsylvania concerning the access to patients at Somerset Medical Center. The investigator goes to speak with his family and friends, which everything shows that he just really didn't have connections other than work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that was his life.
He was kind of a loner outside of work.
Yeah, because he can't see his kids.
Yeah.
He-
Yeah. His
Rifle-
parents are
yeah.
dead, and
Yes.
yeah,
So
he didn't get along with any of the guys in the Navy.
Mhm.
no. And I'm sure he didn't get along with the guys at work either. If there was
Oh,
more
it was
men.
the female nurses.
I think so.
Okay.
So they go and speak. They don't get anything really from the friends or families.
They're like, yeah, we don't really know him that well.
Right.
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 Yeah, I know. He's one of my 8 siblings.
Right.
But
Nobody
yeah.
likes that little motherfucker.
Yeah.
They didn't like him to begin with because he's a fucking baby. And the baby is the worst.
The baby is the worst.
The baby's the worst. Little assholes.
Trying to tell my parents that my sister's a sweet little angel. I'm the worst.
No, you're the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
I am too.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That's my parents.
I got blamed for all the shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You were supposed to be in charge of these
Mhm.
kids.
Yep.
No, I'm not. You had a motherfucker. Why am I in
I am
charge
not
of your
the mom,
babies?
bitch.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't
So-
get me off. That's a whole nother podcast.
I know, same. I'm one of 7. I'm the second oldest of
Oh,
7.
my
So the
gosh.
baby is like, and I love the baby to death, but it's totally different when we're trying to decide whose ass is getting whipped, it's never the
No.
babies.
Never.
Ever. They just slide on by.
Yeah. So, hello, Chandler. I hope you're listening to this episode.
Okay, I have to note something because
Tell me.
it was from the other podcast when you looked at Chandler and said, well, I don't know, Chandler, how do you feel about getting popped in the mouth? I was like, not good.
I was expecting him to say, I don't know, because
I never got popped in the mouth.
Right.
He didn't catch on to that one.
No, he's just like, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing that they did get from friends and family was the beautiful the signature of all the killers. Guess what he was doing?
What?
Forging.
No.
Oh.
What's the starter of the serial killers? What's something that they do?
Oh,
they piss their beds.
They dissect animals and then say,
Yes. They do things with animals.
Abuse to animals.
Yes.
So
nice.
that's what they got.
Not nice, but
Yeah.
No, you got it.
Nice.
You win
Nice
the
that I
prize.
got it,
Yeah.
You won
Ding,
the
ding,
prize.
ding. You are the winner. So he was abusive towards family pets. He tried to poison one of their pets, which I feel like is weird.
Yes,
Well,
of course.
yeah.
That's why you get pets when your kids are little, to figure out if they're fucking serial killers or not.
Exactly.
Harold was always like, I don't want any fucking dogs. I don't want any. I'm
Serial
like,
killer.
Yeah.
I'm teaching these children
Not to be serial
how
killer.
to care for an animal. And if they start trying to light the cat's tail on fire, we got problems.
We need to see a psychologist.
Yes.
My dad set me up for failure skinning bucks and hogs at a very
Yeah.
age.
So Bryce is the same way.
Yeah.
It's we hunt for necessity and we eat what we hunt for.
Right. You respect the animal.
Yes.
All that
Yes.
jazz.
It's a whole thing.
this
okay.
animal gave its life for you.
Yes.
It's a
So
respect
eat it.
thing.
And my
Yes.
dad did a wonderful job doing that.
Good.
So
I'm glad you're not a serial killer.
no,
Thank God.
I would take the pregnant hogs. No, I'm joking. Continue.
Oh, okay. So after they got all that information or whatever, the investigators.
So okay, how did they find out what? Oh, the family and friends told him, like,
Collectively,
he's trying to
that's-
fuck the cat up
Yeah.
when he was 9 years old or whatever.
9 kid. Well, I don't.
Right.
That's
And then so the
Unclear.
investigators are like, okay, do they even? Yeah, it's 2003. They know that's
Yeah.
a sign of a serial
Yes.
killer. Yeah.
because they've seen enough.
Mm-hmm.
So the investigators started a timeline of where Charles had worked, and they're just kind of going down the list. I told you this already. He worked at 9 hospitals and 1 nursing home. They found that he was at Warren Hospital from 91 to 94, where they had an open case of a suspicious death. This person, again, was on the up and up, going to be discharged. However, the male nurse, which is Charles,
Right.
who came into the room, asked the family members to leave the room, which I feel like is routine.
I mean, if you're going to give me, like, if you're giving the guy a prostate exam or
Right.
something, but if you're just like changing out his IV or whatever,
Would you question that?
I probably wouldn't.
Right. I wouldn't either.
I
I'd be
wouldn't.
like, okay, whatever.
It's like, you're the
about
boss.
to do some weird shit.
You're
Cool.
about to fucking give him a sponge bath. I
Right.
don't want to see that. Empty his bedpan or whatever.
Right, like I'm good on
Colostomy
that.
bag.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So he asked the colostomy bag. Ugh.
Dissect it. Cut it open.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, normally
You
you'd be like,
wouldn't
okay.
ask, yeah.
I'd be like, okay, whatever. So he draws the curtains and he sticks the patient in the thigh with a needle. Very descriptive. She tells her son, this dude stuck me with some shit in my leg and my thigh, and I don't know what the fuck it
If
was.
you're going to give me some shit, put it in my IV.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they took not took a picture, but they were able to see that she was stuck with something
Right.
there.
They were able to see the injection site.
Correct.
Mhm.
So the victim's son brought the case to the police, saying that his mother, because she died. She
So, like,
died
she spilled the tea to her son and
before she died.
Yeah, and then she died like 15 minutes
Correct.
later. Yeah.
Wow.
She died later that day
Yeah.
after Charles was Charlesing. So the victim's son, he brought the case to the police saying, my mom was murdered and
Yeah.
it was by the hands of this male nurse, Charles Cullen, because he got his information. There was a full investigation. They tested for every drug in her system
Except for insulin.
except for digoxin.
Oh, digoxin. They didn't think a little old lady would want to become a jock.
She had nothing wrong with her heart. It wouldn't have been something that they just tested for.
Makes sense.
Right.
So
Because why the fuck would
but
she
they
have
did
it?
find it. But
They found that the investigation didn't bring enough to cause alarm.
it wasn't cut and dry.
So they didn't investigate it any further.
I mean, like, put him on admin leave or something while y'all check this out.
Right. See if less people die
Because
during.
clearly he stuck the bitch.
Right.
I don't know. That sus.
So now we know, moral of the story, if you're in the hospital with your loved one and the nurse comes in
You'd be like, no, bitch, what the fuck are you about to do?
and the nurse says, I need y'all to step outside for a minute, you just have to say, I'm staying in here unless you're going to do some poo-poo shit.
You're
Because
not
if dealing
sticking
with
my
some
loved one with
poo-poo,
some crazy shit.
if you're like wiping ass or
Yeah.
taking poo-poo or whatever, then I'll go outside.
But I'll even be like, I'm going to turn around. I don't have to look. I can still
Right,
be in
right.
here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I don't
All
know.
right. Not-
Especially ICU patients. Like, you know.
Ashley, I'm talking to you right now. I
Ashley.
will stay in there for the poo-poo shit too.
That's love right
That
there.
is love.
That's engagement love
Yep.
right there.
And you will have to take care of the poo-poo eventually.
Oh,
I'm sure.
gosh. She's older than me. I'm good. Oh wait, no. That's exactly what you
She's
said.
older than
She's older than me. Never mind. I take it back.
She's going to be shitting on herself first.
All right. Too many Miller Lights.
Okay.
I'm
So
just a party guy.
Charles was able to continue his medical profession without any charge,
No question.
nothing.
Yeah.
They just were like, okay, whatever, let him be on his merry way. So
It sounds like he would stay at a place long enough to, okay, if
Correct.
they get suspicious, all right, I'm jumping ship.
Right.
I'm going to the
Correct.
next one.
So I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to tell you, because I didn't type this, but I have a picture of the dates of his employment. So remember I told you 9 hospitals?
You
9?
good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, did it have a bone in it?
Yeah. A bone right in my Miller Lite. I'm suing you, Miller Lite.
Okay.
Did it have digoxin in it?
Probably.
Trade your jocks. I'm about to go throw a football outside.
Okay, dates of the different jobs.
This is the date span of all of his jobs. So he was from 87 to 91 at one hospital, St. Barnabas. From 91 to 94 at Warren Hospital, which this incident just happened at.
Okay.
From 94 to 96, Huntington Medical Center. 96 to 98, Morristown. 98 to 98,
What?
Liberty.
He was speeding that shit
Yes.
up.
He was just a traveling nurse.
Yeah.
No biggie.
He was just PRN,
Right.
whatever.
That's it.
1198 to 399.
Wow.
So like it
Yeah.
just keeps getting smaller. And
He's
smaller
just
and smaller.
got the itch.
Mhm.
So it's just catching up
But
to
it
him.
sounds
Right.
like he's getting paranoid at the same time. Like, okay, I got to move on faster because, okay, this person.
They're gonna know.
Well,
Right.
I also feel like maybe in the beginning, he's like, he had to work himself
Yes.
into the
Right,
situation
right.
Yes.
and see what he could get away with. And like, that's why he
Yes.
was there for 3 or 4
Correct.
years. Now
So-
he's like, I know how to do
Yep,
this.
I'm gonna do
bitch.
it and dip
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So the next one is 399 to 2000, 2000 2001, or I'm sorry, 2000 to 2002. Luke St. Luke's, which we'll hear about that in just a minute. 702 to 702. And then 902 to
902.
present in
Present
the story.
in the story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller the amount of time that he is
Of course.
at these hospitals.
He's ramping it up.
Correct. He needs more.
trying to find that first high he
Yes.
got
Mhm.
when he killed his first
Yes,
victim.
absolutely. So they continue to find more and more cases. And during this time, the other nurses felt like, hey, we can rely on Charles. Like he knows what he's doing. We can ask him questions, get help from him if they didn't have a clue on what they were supposed to do. One of the investigators said a medical homicide cases are a bitch to prove.
Yeah.
Being able to prove that the needle was in his hand or he provided the drug or whatever.
I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Until they get those, and they may not have had that.
Right.
When they have now in the hospital, the medication machine where you have to enter your code or you scan your badge and they know exactly who's taking what out of the, cabinet.
There's ways around it. I'm not going to tell you how I know.
Don't tell me how you know because I'm about to tell you how you know.
Oh, sorry.
So they went to Warren Hospital. They got more information, cases, documents. All of that had been destroyed.
Oh.
They have 0 from Warren Hospital. Nothing.
He's fucking doing all the shit.
Yes.
He's doing the most.
They have nothing.
Wow.
So, desperate to get some answers, the investigators continued to dig. They reached out to the toxicologist, and just so happened they got the guy who handled the case originally.
Coincidence?
I think not. The investigator started asking about digoxin, and immediately the toxicologist asked, "Are you talking about Somerset Medical Center?" And the investigator's like,
maybe.
What are you talking about?
You tell me what you know, and I'll tell you what I know.
I'll show you mine if you
Right.
Yeah, I said that right.
So, they said that we've been telling them that they have a murderer for a long time. They have a murderer on their hands, and we've been telling them. They have recordings of toxicology telling the hospital, you have somebody killing somebody.
Wow.
So,
they're like, we're covering our ass.
Yeah, they ain't going to tell us shit. Yep. So the investigator was like, hey, I'm fixing a pull up. And the toxicologist was like, all right, bet. Come on. So they pull over. They start with, where the hell have y'all been? Because we've been knowing about this for this long and nobody has said shit. They were expecting the police to get involved immediately after the first case.
If the hospital doesn't call them, how are they?
Correct.
I
guess it was a chain of command thing and the toxicologist couldn't, I don't know.
Yeah.
So poison control toxicologists, they had all the recordings telling the hospital it was a huge issue and that someone is doing this and they needed to make sure.
On purpose.
Yep. That they needed to report it. So the whole thing began to look like the hospital was covering up the issue.
Yeah, of course.
Hiding this as much as they could possibly hide it.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to look into the other hospitals that Charles had worked at during and before the time of this happening.
Makes sense. You got to build a case.
Yes. And the timeline that they built is great. That was the best way for them.
Did they have like a cork board up with pins and strings?
I don't know if it was all that, but you could see exactly what the dates were and when he worked where and how many
people died and
what percentage was his.
Right.
So one of the hospitals stated that they thought that medications had been being taken from the hospital, but they left that alone. So they basically said we were suspicious of somebody taking some shit.
What happened?
We didn't care.
What had happened was we thought some shit was going down, but we didn't want to get.
We don't want to be involved.
We didn't want bad press.
Right.
So one of the nurses that Charles worked with in 2002 at St. Luke's, which was short, the amount of time that he was working.
Yeah.
She said that he was weird, but most nurses are weird. To do the job, though, you have to be a different type of person.
Agree.
I could never do that.
Right.
I would be too invested and too involved.
I've been thinking about that lately in terms of being a police officer or a detective.
I'd love to be a PI.
Well, number one, the wheels of justice don't turn fast enough for me, and I would just be frustrated all the time.
Yep.
Number two, while I think I could handle seeing the things that they see, I think it would really fuck me up.
I agree.
So
I can talk about it.
Yeah, I can talk about it too. But, like sometimes you think in the back of your mind, oh, I could do that job, or no,
No.
And go to sleep at night.
No, I don't think I could. It would fuck me up. So I feel like we should, take that into consideration.
Yeah, absolutely.
When some people, disparage the police and things like that. Like
it's a more of a calling of a profession because your brain is built that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how Bryce does it. I don't know how your fiance can do it.
Mm.
Some of the stuff that they see is like, whoa.
Yeah. Real shit.
Yeah. All the time.
This ain't a recreation.
Right.
This is real shit.
Right.
Yeah. I lose sleep over a piece of equipment going down in a plant, let alone someone dying on my hands.
I'm an accountant. We very rarely lose sleep over a job,
Yeah, I concur for sure. Okay, so he's weird. Obviously, he's weird. She said there were days she was there the day he was taken out, like removed from the job. You don't work here anymore, which is the 02 to 02.
Okay, so I just kind of assumed he was jumping ship. So some of these jobs he got fired from.
Correct.
Or all of them.
Some.
Okay.
Okay.
He's like, oh, they about to put 2 and 2 together. Peace out, bitches.
Some he dipped from, some
they fired him.
Correct.
But dude, I feel like you have a responsibility as the hospital. If you're firing him because he knows he's
you need to say something
fucking up to no good, like there should be there probably is some type of board of ethics that you can report a nurse to.
No
or
expert,
doctor.
No expert on this, but I'm pretty sure they are, like, hospitals talk with some sort of board to. I'm not 100% sure.
Like if you get fired from one, the other one's going to know why. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Well,
especially when it comes to like thievery, if you're stealing drugs.
Okay.
And I know that for sure just from instances.
I could totally see that today because like if I go to a doctor at one facility and I go to a doctor at completely unrelated facility, they know what the shit happened to me over it. Like the transfer of information is so, plentiful now.
It was then.
It was. Well, they just weren't doing their job then. They were just like, we don't need the bad PR.
Yes.
Fire him. Get him out of here.
That's the big problem. So it was pretty fluid back then too.
Was it? Okay.
They were all on the same system, similar to, of course, not as high tech, but similar. But I will tell you that law comes into effect after this story.
Do no harm.
Yes. So he was removed from that job. Remember I told you there was a bunch of medication missing?
Yes.
50 vials of medication.
Oh, wow.
Was it all Dejockin or whatever it's called? Dejerkin?
Some of it. It was like deadly drugs.
Or he's just taking random shit. Like I might kill you with
I think it was just taking
succinylol today, and I might kill you with Dejockin tomorrow.
Yes.
It might be insulin the next day.
Penicillin.
I don't think you could kill somebody with that. I guess you could.
You could kill my man with it. He's allergic.
Oh,
so
there you go. Oh, maybe he's finding out this information
because there's a big orange sticker on it that says PCN. They're allergic to penicillin. They don't. Oh, good thought. Okay.
Yes. So 50 vials, they're gone. They're finding some of them empty, some of them full in the medical waste box, the little orange box. So she's concerned because she's had so many patients code without reason. I guess in the ICU, they all kind of touch each other's patients.
Sure, yeah.
So she goes and she writes out all the cases and who's died when.
Yeah.
She said that 25% of those cases Charles was on shift for. Which doesn't seem like a lot.
Does not to me either.
But
I was thinking you might need like 75, 90%.
I would 90%.
Like you trying to fire me over killing somebody. And
when I'm only 25% on this shit.
And it's ICU, bitch.
Yeah, they just be dying.
Right.
So she calculated all that up. But she was very certain that he was killing people. Like she was dead set on it. She calls.
Okay, who is she again? I'm confused.
This is one of the nurses that she worked. He worked with.
Right. The one that said
at St. Luke's.
The one that said he was weird.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Same girl. So She is very upset about it. One of the guys that she got close to passed away, which...
One of the patients?
Yeah. I guess he didn't have anybody. I'm not too sure. She felt like he was doing this so much that she reached out to the state police. She let them know that she felt like Charles was killing people. The hospital stated that they investigated Charles and found nothing to give them the idea that he was killing people.
All right.
Okay. Mind you, he was there for months.
Yeah.
That was 02 to 02.
Yeah.
He was there for a little bit amount of time. So, in saying that, he gets to keep his position. The state followed up on the case for a while, and due to lack of evidence, they stopped the investigation.
It's got to be a hard thing to prove.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Definitely not cut and dry.
So what they started looking into is the medical retrieval system called Pyxis.
And is that where you have to put your code
Correct.
in to get the medication?
Yes. So they're able to document who takes what.
The minute down to the second.
So it's all
what
documented.
They take. Yeah.
So we're still at Somerset Medical Center. The investigators reach out to the hospital. The hospital tell the cops that they only hold their information for 30 days, and anything after 30 days, they get rid of.
How about just print that shit out and put it in a file?
No shit.
30 days.
Yeah.
If you ain't killed anybody in 30 days, we're deleting everything.
Right.
Put that shit in the cloud or
Something. Yeah. Store that shit in the cloud.
Yeah.
So the investigators reached out to the manufacturer of Pyxis, and they said,
and they're like, "Oh no, we keep that shit for 110
That's exactly what
years.
they said.
Yeah.
They said every single movement is stored on that particular unit. So the police went back and said, "Listen, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
We need that shit.
We got a search warrant.
Yeah.
Print the shit out.
Give us the shit."
So the hospital was lying about
Yes.
the 30 days.
Yes.
Fucking sideways.
Yes.
Oh
Full
my
sideways. So days later, they were able to access all the information because the police said, "Listen, like either you give us this shit or we're going to fucking take y'all down.
God. Yeah.
Right.
We don't want to take you down. We will.
Just give us the shit.
Yeah.
Just comply.
Just break me off, bro." So they found that every time somebody coded or had a major medical decline,
15 minutes before.
Charles was the one who pulled the drugs from the Pyxis machine. You got to scan his badge, blah, blah, blah. So they had a good bit to go on now. After that, their main goal, because Charles is still working at Somerset while they're investigating this.
Yes.
He's still fully.
They got nothing on him.
Wouldn't you think he would dip out?
Right.
Well, he might not know. This might be underneath, flying under the radar.
I guess.
Investigators will be on the down low
Yeah,
about this shit.
True.
Hospital's definitely on the down low.
I know, because they're not trying to fuck around.
Right.
So their main goal was to get him to stop touching people, stop working in any way, shape, or form around people.
So what?
No
Position?
touching.
So they gave him a janitorial
No.
position.
They did not give him a janitorial. The hospital and the investigators, they were able to find an issue with his hiring paperwork.
Nice.
Good on him. He lied about something on his application.
Sure. You done now, buddy.
So they were able to say, "Listen, you falsified this document on your application and now you don't work here anymore."
Yeah. You didn't take your continuing education credits.
Like you didn't do whatever the hell you were supposed to do. All the other nurses saw that as a loss because they felt like he was like one of the top tier RNs.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Except for that old killing thing.
right.
Right. Yeah.
Which I don't think that they suspected him.
I really feel like, he was probably very personable with his patients, and he was very caring with his patients. And that's what the other nurses saw. But, then he had that, let me jab you in the thigh, wild side.
And the old stick in the thigh.
Yeah. Let me poke you. Okay, so tell me.
Now that they were able to get Charles removed from the hospital, they were able to start questioning the coworkers. They wanted to get into the nitty gritty of how he handled shifts, what was done.
So now they're like, okay, he gone. Tell me the real.
Yeah, break me up.
Tell me the tea now. Spill it.
Right. So they felt like they were able to get a little bit more. At least they're not working back and forth with this guy.
Right.
But during the interviews, the hospital administration said that they would fully cooperate in any way they needed to. However, during these interviews, they would have someone from the hospital administration sit in to make sure the police is getting all that they need.
They got the union rep in there.
Now tell me I'm going to go, oh yeah, I suspected this motherfucker was doing some crazy shit. But, I just left
How are you going to say that in front of the people you work for?
Yeah.
Right. I put, tell me I'm going to fucking tell on my boss and tell on my coworker in front of my boss.
Yeah.
So I can get fired.
Right.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's like the owner of my company sitting in, hey, is there any complaints about this? And I have all the complaints. I have a list of complaints.
No, sir.
But my manager's sitting right next to me.
Right.
I'm going to be like, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
I hate it here.
He's sobbing into his handkerchief.
It's fine. I promise.
No, everything's good.
I love it here.
I really do love it.
So bitches can't even really tell stories.
Right.
Because
they have
their boss is sitting right there,
Yes.
and they're going to get fired if they tell shit. Why didn't you tell us about this before?
Nobody brought this to our attention. So they had one of Charles's coworkers. He was extremely close with, and her name was Amy. She was coached by administration to say only what they wanted her to say.
Coached.
And nothing more.
Wow.
So that's what she did.
Yeah.
She was defending Charles. She's part of the Three Musketeers.
Mm-hmm.
She's defending Charles like to the actual death. Like she is like, there's no way that he's doing this, blah, blah, blah. So conveniently for Amy, the person that was assigned for admin had to step out.
Oh, good. She's like, oh my God, while they're gone, let me tell you. Let me just fucking tell you.
This motherfucker.
Just be quiet and listen.
This motherfucker was raped in the neighborhood.
So she had the opportunity to kind of speak how she needed to speak.
She's like, on his break, he's out back killing cats and shit. Like, I've been wanting him gone for years.
So actually, it is the total opposite because she loved him.
But did she tell the truth?
So
when her boss stepped out?
When her boss stepped out, the investigators felt like it was a good opportunity to show her a little bit more, because she was hardcore repping for him.
Okay.
To show her a little bit more solid evidence.
Here's what the lowdown is.
So the investigator slides a sheet of paper over to Amy, and it's Charles's Pyxis report. It's the printout of all the drugs that he took, where they were withdrawn, and she sat there in silence. Like she just was like, oh my God.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Coming together.
She's like, okay, this.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
hold up.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So she started to have, you know how somebody tells you something and you're like, oh, I remember. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she started remembering all the times that Charles
killed
was
someone.
Involved. I know he's a murderer.
She's like, oh shit, now I know why Father Gall died.
Yes. So one of the cases that she started remembering, like recounting all the bad cases that she felt like
could be. Yeah.
So one of the cases was they were all at the nurse's station, and one of the patients went into VTech. Tac. She yelled code blue, code blue. She made it to the room. Charles was already there. Magically, he got there first. He was already in the room.
Did he cause the code blue, or was he trying to quote unquote save the person?
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, go ahead.
She walks in, sees Charles. He's injecting the patient. Oh, magically. Not in the thigh, though.
Okay.
Thank God.
Right in her temple.
Right. He's injecting her with something, and she's like, what are you injecting her with?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's lidocaine. you're dying, and let me give you some fucking lidocaine to just ease your
No,
Yeah, there you go.
This isn't hospice.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He's getting a dental work.
she was like
Emergency.
thinking to herself,
Oh, it's just laughing gas. He's holding a fucking pillow over her head.
enjoy, bitch. So she thought to herself, she was like, why the fuck is he giving her like, she's code blue, she's dying. Why are we giving her lidocaine? I don't understand. So as they're in the middle of the code, they're giving CPR. The resident, like the main doctor, he walks in asking for the rundown. Like, what are the orders? Amy gives the orders of action. And the doctor says, who gave this patient lidocaine? Amy says, I did. I'm the code leader.
What?
I ordered the lidocaine.
Why?
What a stupid
That's how
bitch.
much she loved him.
Wow.
Oh, she was
That
trying
she
to get
was
up
willing-
in his draws.
She was
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
That's what it was. Charles got that
They have
fucking...
some
that monster meat.
him
Oh my
and
God.
it was Amy had shit going on the side. Yeah.
I never got the vibe that they did.
Really?
Well,
I think that it was more like, this is my little brother, or like, this is my bestie.
Okay. Well,
It's
just
the- yeah, I didn't
nice.
get any like
sexual vibes.
anything. I did get that she was pissed because she got played.
Yeah.
Well, she was probably married, so she had to hide the fact that she was cheating on her husband because her nurses.
She wasn't married.
Well,
She did have an
all my
11-year-old.
theories are out the fucking
Yeah,
window.
you're losing talking shit here. So she takes a lick for him. The doctor says she's fucking allergic to lidocaine.
Oh my God.
She's fucking allergic to it.
Oh, well, there goes back to what I said earlier. He's reading the fucking...
Correct.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
So
Allegedly.
So she spoke with the.
I think we can stop saying
Yeah, we don't need to
allegedly.
say allegedly. We know this motherfucker's crazy.
This motherfucker did it.
He's
I
crazy.
think Amy did all of it.
He's crazy.
Okay.
Amy sounds like a bitch that would.
She might be a bitch that would, but I don't think she's a bitch that did.
Don't listen to me. I'm not a...
So she
Detective.
spoke with the investigator about the incident. She told them, I walked in on him murdering somebody and I didn't even know.
Wow.
Like, I didn't know that that's what he was doing. The next day, oh, I'm sorry. The investigators asked Amy to help them. They said, come help us.
We're going to set this up.
We're going to set this up.
Yeah.
The next day, the investigators.
How did they get that volunteer? Okay, I want you to lay in the bed and pretend like you're declining in health.
Mhm.
And then there's going to be this nurse that comes in and injects you with something deadly.
Good luck, bitch.
Mhm.
And we'll just be right outside.
Right, right.
We'll catch him though, but you might die before we
It's
can.
okay because you died for a good cause.
We can't get. We might not be able to get the antidote to you
Right.
as quickly.
Right.
Right.
But just know you're doing the right thing.
Oh my
Or
God.
they could do
Good
it
on
like
you.
they could fib and be like, "Hey, this person's allergic to penicillin."
Oh yeah,
Inject
that's a
some
good
That would be
idea.
a really good idea.
Red flag.
Yep.
I
Boom.
really like your idea better than
Good
my
job.
idea.
I'm
That
ready
was
to
a good
kill
idea.
somebody.
That was a good
yeah,
job.
I
Okay,
really
so-
like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So they asked, hey, we need somebody inside.
Yeah,
Will you do it?
and she's figured out. Yeah,
But
he's fucked me.
He has royally fucked me
Yeah.
because I put my name out there and he fucking killed this girl.
Yeah.
I think literally still. I don't care what you say.
It's possible. He's like a very small, like
Oh.
Weasley guy. He's very and she did not seem Weasley. She
How
was
is he?
like,
Mm.
he's just like,
Mm.
like.
So she's like, "Oh, my little tutu."
But it's possible. She
Oh.
liked that thing.
Is this Ashley? Is this my fiance?
Surprise!
Amy, Ashley.
Same difference. Okay, so the next day, the investigators actually go to Amy's house. They needed help understanding what these reports show and what they mean. And because I'm trying to slow because I'm rambling.
Mm-mm, you're
Good.
good.
You're good.
You're
Okay.
doing great.
Because they didn't understand. And I keep wanting to call her your wife. She's almost your wife. Your fiance and my husband understand a different language that we don't.
Right.
It's
Yes.
it's all the medical code that if we said a word, they would know exactly what the hell we're
Does
talking
he
about.
ever tell you stories like, "Yeah, it was a code, whatever,"
Yes.
and I'm be like,
And I'm
"All
like,
right, well,
okay,
wait,
slow down.
Tell me what you
What the fuck are you? Give me a
Hey,
normal term.
dumb
bro.
this down
Yes,
for
give me
me.
like normal shit that happened. Like, oh, they broke their leg. Oh, he fractured his XYZ.
His tibula fibula.
Where is that?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I feel dumb about it all the time. So they go to the house and she's able to read the reports, which they've had no luck with.
Right. Yeah. And she probably hasn't had access to.
But the hospital knew that.
Oh.
They took advantage of the fact that the investigators
didn't know.
Had not a fucking clue what these reports. Oh, here's the reports. Like, good luck finding a decoder because y'all don't have a clue what's going on.
Well, it would probably be like them reading a foreign language, literally. Like, I can't read Spanish, you know?
Right. And that's basically, the hospital felt safe in knowing, okay, we can give them all the shit.
They didn't know Amy was in the back pocket.
That she was going to cooperate.
If only her supervisor hadn't left that interview.
Right.
Because she had diarrhea.
This would be a totally different outcome.
If only the supervisor was also fucking Amy.
Yes. Okay, so she breaks down the reports, and something that she said was there was a pattern in the Pyxis transactions, which is where they scan their badge and they can get the medication out. Cancellations.
What?
A lot of cancellations.
You mean like he would scan his shit and then cancel it?
Scan it, pop the drawer, take the medication, cancel.
Oh, okay. Motherfuckers will figure a way out of everything.
So when y'all were saying all of that, there is. And
wow.
And I don't think that maybe he knew and didn't care, or maybe he thought he was cheating the system.
That's why
here's
I'm high
my
on lidocaine right now.
What?
That's why I'm high on lidocaine right now.
We need to stop talking about your fiance because I don't want her to get fired from some stupid ass shit you're saying.
Let me say it to the camera. Hey, she hasn't done any of this. She's told me stories of other places that people have gotten fired for. So justice has been served.
Doesn't it feel so interesting when they tell, like, when Bryce tells me stories at work, I'm like, what else?
Do you think we could actually get Bryce to come on the podcast?
We'd have to get him a little sloshed.
Well, I have plenty of alcohol.
He is a full chatty Cathy.
There's
if we get him
whole cabinet
sloshed.
right there for him.
He would come.
He would come.
I would love that. And tell us some of his crazy...
He would come.
I mean, obviously there's HIPAA, so you're not going to say names or anything like that.
He has some good ones, though. He's been doing it forever.
Our camera switcher's leaving because he's got to go pee.
I do too.
What? I do too. So let's wrap this motherfucker up. Go pee. Put it on Kyrstin, and we're going to finish the story.
Okay. So, blah, blah, blah.
So Amy translates everything.
She translates this story. It still needs at least another 20 minutes.
Really? Are we going to have to two-part this?
If you want.
No. Chop it and let's go. Get to the meat.
Okay. So she decodes everything, and all the medication that he was pulling was like deadly medication.
Yeah.
He would go under the patient's name, click on it, pull the drug, and it was 90% digoxin. That was his favorite, I guess. And then he would cancel the withdrawal, which means, oh, sorry, I fucked up.
I mean, come on.
In the middle of her decoding everything, hospital administration calls her on her house phone and says, I hope that you're not communicating with the police.
Never nothing to see
him.
here. Move along.
Yeah, never talk to him. So she was kind of nervous to stay involved, but she felt like it was worth risking her job.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is obviously the police could have gotten any medical professional to help them with this.
Yes. I think they felt like because she was so close to him.
No, I mean, like, she can't take the fall for it.
Oh,
like,
no.
They could have gotten anybody.
Yes, absolutely. So she continues to stay close with Charles. She talks to him on a daily basis. And she asks the investigators, what about this? Cerner is the program. The investigators didn't have any of the Cerner forms.
Okay.
Because the hospital wouldn't give them that shit.
Okay.
So she goes to work and starts printing all of this shit out that she's not supposed to be printing.
Right.
She just starts printing it out and bringing it to the investigators. All of his cases.
I hear you.
As long as they could prove one,
then
they were good.
Yeah, they could get his license revoked, get him in jail.
In jail, yes. So they had all that information, but they felt like they needed a body to tie everything to.
Mm-hmm.
member Father Gall.
Mm-hmm.
They reached out to his sister.
Can we exhume him?
Yes.
Perfect.
And she said, I have no objection.
Good.
I knew it wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
So they did an autopsy after they exhumed. And because of the amount of digoxin in his system, they were able to change his cause of death from natural to homicide.
Homicide.
The homicide. So the investigators still needed more evidence that kind of tied him to it. No needle, no IV bag, anything like that. So
can they not go back to the machine and see that?
They can see that he withdrawed it, but they can't prove that he injected it.
Okay,
right.
Gotcha.
So
put it in front of a jury,
right.
bitch. Let's see what the jury thinks.
And I don't know this. If you're withdrawing it, are usually the nurse that's also injecting it or no?
That would make sense.
That would make sense, but they don't have proof.
Right.
Right.
I wouldn't be withdrawing shit for somebody else to inject.
Exactly. And that might be a rule now that...
Probably.
Oh, I'm sure that was probably a rule then. If your name is on it, you are responsible.
Why would you risk your shit for this?
Right. I mean, in this cancel shit, you're still responsible for that shit.
Right.
You took it, yeah.
So he was excited, called Amy and was like, hey, I got another job. I'm going to go work at this hospital. So they felt like it was time to try and wrap everything up before he started.
Before he started killing somewhere else.
Right. They put a wire on Amy. Amy goes, meets up with Charles, and she was concerned because he hugged her.
I'm going to say that they went to the local Burger King. That's just what I'm going to say in my mind.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It didn't give me an actual place.
No, I'm given a place.
Burger King it is.
Okay.
So,
he hugs. She's like,
oh my God, he's going to feel this.
No, he's not going to feel it.
So Charles starts telling Amy like the juicy shit. That's how much like they were friends, I guess.
Really? He felt like he could tell her the juicy shit? Like, I'm killing people shit?
Close to.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So Amy's asking about the incident at Warren Hospital with the lady saying, hey, he injected me in my thigh.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, I mean, this happened, whatever. Amy asked him about Father Gall, what happened. He's like, I can't tell you. She's like, yes, you can. I see you. I know you. And it's okay. And I still love you. Guess what?
No judgment here.
The fucking wire died.
Oh my God.
You had one fucking job.
One job. And the wire died.
You had one
2003 technology.
Fucking job. Fuck yourself, 2003. Go fuck yourself.
Right. So she continued to talk because obviously
she didn't know the wire died.
Correct.
Right.
She's like, all right, guys, we
got
got
it.
Yes. She runs out of the Burger King to the van.
Yes. Save me.
Yeah. We didn't get that. Can you go back and redo it? It's kind of like when I don't press record.
Yeah. Do all the funny things you already did. Just make
Right.
it just as good. Okay. So after their dinner at the Burger King, the investigators are waiting outside to confront Charles. They grab him. They arrest him. He basically says, I want to go down fighting. I'm not telling anybody anything. So he keeps telling them, I can't. I'm not telling anybody. Investigators arrange for Amy to see Charlie shackled in his prison scrub.
Why is he Charlie all of a sudden?
I guess that's how I typed it. He's Charles. The whole time.
Okay. Just making
But Charlie is what she called him, so I guess that's how I typed it.
I was like, how much did I miss when I went to go pee for 30 seconds?
Charles.
Okay.
So that's what she called him. So
you're fucking.
Probably. It's probably.
Oh,
So
Charlie.
Charlie bit my finger and killed my patient.
So she felt like she betrayed him, and then,
Girl, this bitch crazy. She
is.
need to get
She's
a
nuts.
fucking grip.
So
they need to investigate her fucking ass.
right, she was the second part of the killings. So then she realized, like I need to be defending my patients, the ones who were tied down and got it injected and all that. So she was willing to do whatever she could to get a confession. She said, I'm going to lose everything because I'm being implicated. So I need you to be my hero here. And I need to know, why did you kill Father Gall?
Yeah.
He said, No, I'm sorry. How did you kill Father?
I was going to say, because I could.
Because I can. How? And he said, I injected him with the dioxin.
Okay.
This was enough for them to pull him in for another interview. Investigators are like, okay, fucking talk now because we already have you.
We got you.
We got your ass.
So they met at the Burger King. Then he gets arrested outside the Burger King, but they still talk to him and they don't have enough shit to keep him.
Right.
So they release
they
him.
have enough to keep it.
Okay. And
they kept him.
Is this when she again tries to talk to him and get him on recording from jail?
Not recording.
Okay.
I mean, I guess obviously it's in.
Well, because they're in jail.
They're in jail. So it
Okay.
is recorded, but there was no wire or anything.
Gotcha.
So yeah, directly after the Burger King, he's confronted and arrested because they had enough to arrest him on Father Gall.
Right.
They had enough.
Yeah, but then he went on while he was in jail like a total fucking dumbass and just talked more about it.
Yes. So
I just want a flame broiled Whopper right now.
I just want a bathroom.
I do too.
So that was enough to pull him to interview. They're like, okay, fucking tell us. So he does the interview and he starts like recalling all of these incidents.
So he just has diarrhea of the mouth.
Yes, absolute shit mouth. So he said the reason why I killed him was because I knew I would feel relieved after he was not connected to all those machines. He saw what he was doing was ending suffering.
He just,
yeah, fucking ass.
But wasn't he in recovery?
What?
Father Reverend?
Yeah. Father Reverend was getting better. Father Reverend was getting better.
He was winning.
So Charlie was not ending his suffering.
Okay.
He was trying to get his life back in order.
First and last name, Father Reverend.
Yes,
Father Reverend Priest.
Mr. Priesterson.
Pastor.
Okay, so Charles said he would go long periods of time to where he was fine and he didn't feel the urge to do this, and then he'd get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be able to stop himself. He spoke about his kids and wanted to be a part of their lives and blah, blah, blah.
When they come visit him.
And blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Your ex-wife already put a restraining order on your shit.
Oh, shit.
Did your last page not print out? Oh, hit the mic again.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It was wet, so I laid it out. Okay.
How did it get wet? Did you?
Because I set it on the counter.
Oh,
before the podcast.
Okay.
I know. So he stated he was responsible for a lot of people's deaths. Now, here's the thing that you guys were talking about. He contaminated IV infusion bags with insulin.
Yeah, I kept saying insulin.
But it was like a Russian roulette.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go into a room and was like, oh, this person's suffering. He went into like where they store them and just stuck a bunch of random bags.
Oh, wow.
Just for fun.
It wasn't even like person specific.
Yes, it was. Let me just function all of these. Yeah. So,
there was a part of the story where I thought that he was going after people in the Navy.
And that would have made sense.
In the Navy.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Where you can sell the 7 C's in the Navy. Do you know the song?
No.
It's YMCA Village People.
Oh,
I fucking hate y'all right now.
Right.
Fucking little babies.
YMCA.
Oh, y'all know that one, but you don't know in the Navy.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so
basically he was setting up the perfect death for whoever decided to get the fucking punctured bag. So the investigators asked Charles how many patients he assisted into death. Because he was assisting them into death.
At least 60, he said.
30 to 40 pages.
Oh, no. Then that's half. That's half.
Yeah, the Canadians are doing that now.
Assisting into death.
They won't let you, like Dr. Kevorkian in them?
There's allowing assisted suicide.
Okay.
Damn, that's wild.
I honestly respect that.
Right, to a certain extent.
Well, if it's necessary.
We're not going to get into the here's or there's of that. But I mean, honestly, when we put people in hospice, that's what we're doing.
I agree.
They just call it, quote unquote, making them comfortable until they pass.
Right,
so basically, you know.
I can speak on this because I'm Canadian.
All right. So swing your mic out. Go pee.
I literally have like...
Oh, you have more?
This much.
Tell me.
Okay.
Hit it.
So without remorse, he went to trial without anyone to represent him. He told the judge, I don't need representation. I'm pleading guilty.
Okay.
Like, I already know I did this. Whatever.
So just fucking put me on the rack.
Yes.
Kill me now.
Correct.
He's taking the blame for Amy.
Amy, I love you. Father Gall's sister testified not testified, but spoke on his behalf.
Victim impact statement.
Yes. Along with all of the other ones that he confessed to killing. He never looked up, never talked to him, nothing. So Charles was given a plea deal, which I think is super fucked up. But he was given a plea deal that spared him the death penalty as long as he cooperated with the investigation.
I see that.
His sentence was finalized in 2006. He was given 18 consecutive life sentences.
No parole.
No parole. He admitted to killing 29 patients and attempted to kill 6 more. And that's it.
It's a pretty good kill streak.
Wow. Whoa, bro. This is not a video game.
Oh, sorry.
Good kill streak. But the investigators felt like he had killed up to 400.
So here's the thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know a lot and if you need to go to the restroom, just swing your mic out so you don't bang it. But I know a lot of people who murder a lot of people that they're called serial killers. But anyway, I know serial killers will sometimes say, I will plead guilty as long as I don't get the death penalty.
Right.
Because, I get them making the deal. It will give a lot of families a lot of closure. Mm-hmm. But it also pisses me off because you killed so many people. Yeah. And, you're going to rot in jail.
Right.
There's no way out.
Tax dollars getting paid for nothing.
So someone has said that a person who gets convicted of murder and gets the death penalty costs taxpayers more than a person who just gets life in prison.
Who said this?
So it's another podcast that's local, and the person was a detective. Okay, but his philosophy is
give him a shout out.
No, his philosophy is that because of all the forced appeals that have to happen when someone's on death row, it costs us way more in legal fees. I just don't feel like that could be true. I don't feel like somebody on death row could cost us more than somebody who has life in prison. Yeah. That's my personal opinion.
Unless they get like a bougie ass fucking last meal, then maybe.
Bro, how bougie does your fucking last meal have to be?
Well, they had that one guy that watched all the Lord of the Rings trilogies.
That's not a meal.
Yeah, but it's a part of the meal. He watched all of them. He was able to watch all the Lord of the Rings.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought we haven't talked about it.
No, we have not talked about it.
Well, I saw it.
All right, I'm going to tell y'all some funny shit.
All right, hit me.
Before I piss myself.
All right.
I went to rotorburn.com and I got these. Okay, this one's called Oil Change. 45-year-old Amy Brasher, different Amy.
Thank God.
Maybe.
Was arrested in San Antonio, Texas, after a mechanic reported to police that 18 packages of marijuana were packed in the engine compartment of the car, which she had brought in to have an oil change.
What a fucking idiot.
Narcotraficante.
According to police, Brasher later said that she didn't realize the mechanic would need to raise the hood to change the oil.
What a fucking idiot.
Oh my God.
So you're 45 years old and you don't know that
the oil goes there.
You got to fucking open the hood. Well, why don't you just leave your fucking weed at home and then go get the oil change?
Why are you traveling with all the weed?
I don't know. Okay. A penny saved. This one's called. And for some reason, this site doesn't really use commas or punctuation. So I feel like I'm going on a big, long run-on sentence here. But here we go. David Posman, 33, was arrested recently in Providence, Rhode Island, after allegedly knocking out an armored car driver and stealing the closest 4 bags of money. It turned out those closest 4 bags of money contained $800 in pennies.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, $800.
They weighed 30 pounds each.
Oof.
And they slowed him down so much that the police officers were able to catch up with him and jump him.
Oh, it was that much.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
30 pounds. Well, I mean, 30 times 4, that's 120 pounds of pennies you're dragging around behind you. All right, last one. This one's called Check It Out.
Check it out.
Drug possession defendant Christopher Johns, on trial in March in Pontiac, Michigan, said he had been searched without a warrant. The prosecutor said the officer didn't need a warrant because a bulge in Christopher's jacket could have been a gun.
Not the bulge.
A bulge. And when I first read the bulge, I was thinking in his crotch.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
the actual bulge.
But there was a bulge in his jacket, so the police officer could have thought it was a gun and searched him. Okay, nonsense, said Christopher, who happened to be wearing the same jacket that day in court. He handed it over to the judge so he could see it.
Look at my bulge.
The judge discovered a packet of cocaine in the pocket.
Oh my God.
And laughed so hard that he required a 5-minute recess
Oh
to
my
compose
God.
himself. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, child.
Bro, leave your drugs at home.
You a dumb ass motherfucker.
That's awesome.
All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope y'all out there enjoyed that. Thank you for that awesome story. I do enjoy the Angel of Death stories.
Yeah, it was a long one.
I did one back, and of course, I don't remember the episode, but she was from Texas.
Is that a series? Angel of Death?
No, I just call the nurses that kill people that.
Okay.
She was from Texas, and
Okay.
if you haven't heard that one, it's kind of funny because there's a Dairy Queen involved.
There you
It's
go.
not funny because she killed people, but I did say in that episode, the higher the hair, the closer to God.
I remember.
So, guys, I appreciate y'all so much. Colin, thank you so much for
Yes,
camera switching
thank you,
and
thank
being on
you.
the show.
Dang.
Kyrstin, thank you for so much for doing all the research on
course.
that.
I need to apologize to the listeners for a couple of times where I was too into the story.
All right, so go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to TikTok.
And YouTube subscribe.
Is TikTok still legal?
I think it
I don't
is.
even know what's
I think the
going on.
people that have the app are able to see it, but if you
I
delete the
don't
app,
know.
you can't download that shit again.
Antonio,
Right.
we just need to get out of TikTok.
Yeah,
It's just
just
bad
dip.
business. Bad business.
It's illegal.
Yeah. So
Somebody in America buy it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook, we have a page and a private group. Grits group, family, friends, and fans, the Effers or the Gritsters.
The effers.
That's a group you can ask to join, and we will approve you as long as you are not a robot and you can answer the secret questions.
Or a killer nurse.
I mean, if you're a killer nurse and
Give us some stories about you killing.
and you know the answers to the questions, you're going to get approved because
Right.
we don't know that you're a killer nurse. And then the Facebook page is Grits with a Side of Murder,
Yeah.
and you can go there. Okay, so I love you guys so much. I need y'all to go. I beg every week. Please go. Oh, please go to YouTube. Pretty please. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Help us out. And if you enjoy the show, go to the website, www.GritsWithASideOfMurder.com. You can buy merch on there. You can send me a message on there. I love getting messages.
Mm-hmm.
We love hearing from y'all. And for those of you who are diehard fans and have been with us from the beginning, next week's episode will feature Stomp.
Oh, good.
He's coming back.
Good.
So,
Glad to hear.
yes. Anything else, guys?
That's it. Leave
I
a
mean,
like and comment.
Both of y'all have clean bladders, and I'm
Yes,
about to
and
piss
you're about to
myself.
piss yourself.
All right.
Okay. Tell your mom and him to listen. We're going to let Zydeco Mike take us out.
Bye.